Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. The events of 12th November 2024 are follows. Bengali date 26 Kartik 1431. As per Beni Madhavsil Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Ekadashi and up to 1218 hours and after that Shukla Dadushi. Today's Nakhotra is Purva Bhadrapada Nakhotra and up to 0500 hours and after that Uttara Bhadrapada Nakhotra. Today is 317th day of the year. There are then 49 days left in 2024. Today is 46th Tuesday of 2024. Today is Prabodhini Ekadashi. Prabodhini Ekadashi, Devuthani Ekadashi. Prabodhini Ekadashi is also known as Devuthani Ekadashi and Devuthana Ekadashi. Parona means breaking the fast. Ekadashi Parona is done after sunrise on next day of Ekadashi fast. It is necessary to do Parona within Dadoshi Tithi unless Dadoshi is over before sunrise. Not doing Parona within Dadoshi is similar to an offense. Parona should not be done during Harivasara. One should wait for Harivasara to get over before breaking the fast. Harivasara is first 1/4 duration of Dadoshi Tithi. The most preferred time to break the fast is Pratokal. One should avoid breaking the fast during Madhyano. If due to some reasons one is not able to break the fast during Pratokal, then one should do it after Madhyano. At times Ekadashi fasting is suggested on 2 consecutive days. It is advised that Sartho with family who should observe fasting on first day only. The alternate Ekadashi fasting, which is the second one, is suggested for sannyasis, widows and for those who want moksha. When alternate Ekadashi test fasting is suggested for Smartha, it coincides with Vaishnava Ekadashi fasting day. Ekadashi fasting on both days is suggested for staunch devotees who seek for love and affection of Lord Vishnu. Today is World Pneumonia Day. World Pneumonia Day is observed annually on November 12 to raise awareness about pneumonia, a leading cause of death among young children and older adults worldwide. Established in 2009 by the Global Coalition Against Child Pneumonia, the day highlights the urgency of preventing, diagnosing and treating pneumonia, particularly in low and middle income countries where it poses the highest threat. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Jacques Charles, 12th November 1746 to 7th April 1823. Jacques Alexandre Caesar Charles was a French inventor, scientist, mathematician and balloonist. Charles wrote almost nothing about mathematics and most of what has been credited to him was due to mistaking him with another Jacques Charles, sometimes called Charles the Geometer, also a member of the Paris Academy of Sciences, entering on 12th May 1785. Charles and the Robert brothers launched the world's first hydrogen-filled gas balloon August 27, 1783, then December 1, 1783. Charles and his co-pilot Nicholas Louis Robert ascended to a height of about 18,000 feet, 550 meters, in a piloted gas balloon. Their pioneering use of hydrogen for lift led to this type of gas balloon being named as Charlier as opposed to the hot air Montgolfier. Charles' law describing how gases tend to expand when heated was formulated by Joseph Louis Gay Lussac in 1802, but he credited it to unpublished work by Charles. Charles was elected to the Academia des Sciences in 1795 and subsequently became professor of physics at the Academia des Sciences. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Lord Rayleigh, 12th November 1842 to 30th June 1919. John William Strutt was an English mathematician and physicist who made extensive contributions to science. He spent all of his academic career at the University of Cambridge. Among many honors, he received the 1904 Nobel Prize in Physics for his investigations for the densities of the most important gases and for his discovery of argon in connection with these studies. He served as president of the Royal Society from 1905 to 1908 and as Chancellor of the University of Cambridge from 1908 to 1919. Rayleigh provided the first theoretical treatment of the elastic scattering of light by particles much smaller than the light's wavelength, a phenomenon now known as Rayleigh scattering, which notably explains why the sky is blue. He studied and described transverse surface waves in solids, now known as Rayleigh waves. He contributed extensively to fluid dynamics with concepts such as the Rayleigh number, a dimensionless number associated with natural convection, Rayleigh flow, the Rayleigh-Taylor instability, and Rayleigh's criterion for the stability of Taylor-Coulter flow. He also formulated the circulation theory of aerodynamic lift. In optics, Rayleigh proposed a well-known criterion for angular resolution. His derivation of the Rayleigh-Jeans law for classical black body radiation later played an important role in the birth of quantum mechanics. See ultraviolet catastrophe. Rayleigh's textbook The Theory of Sound 1877 is still used today by acousticians and engineers. He introduced the Rayleigh test for circular non-uniformity, of which the Rayleigh plot visualizes. Today's death anniversary of Mr. Madan Mohan Malviya, 25th December 1861 to 12th November 1946. Madan Mohan Malviya was an Indian scholar, educational reformer and politician notable for his role in the Indian independence movement. He was president of the Indian National Congress 3 times and the founder of Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha. He was addressed as Pandit, a title of respect. Malviya strove to promote modern education among Indians and co-founded the Banaras Hindu University (BHU) at Varanasi in 1916, which was created under the 1915 BHU Act. It is the largest residential university in Asia and one of the largest in the world, with over 40,000 students across arts, commerce, sciences, engineering, linguistics, ritual, medicine, agriculture, performing arts, law, management and technology disciplines from all over the world. He was the Vice Chancellor of the Banaras Hindu University from 1919 to 1938. Malviya is one of the founders of the Bharat Scouts and Guides. He founded a highly influential English newspaper, The Leader, in 1919, published from Allahabad. He was also the chairman of Hindustan Times from 1924 to 1946. His efforts resulted in the launch of its Hindi edition named Hindustan Dainik in 1936. Malviya was posthumously awarded the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian distinction, on 24th December 2014, a day before what would have been his 153rd birthday. Today is birth anniversary of Dr. Salim Ali, 12th November 1896 to 20th June 1987. Salim Moizuddin Abdul Ali was an Indian ornithologist and naturalist, sometimes referred to as the Birdman of India. Salim Ali was the first Indian to conduct systematic bird surveys across India and wrote several bird books that popularized ornithology in India. He became a key figure behind the Bombay Natural History Society after 1947 and used his personal influence to garner government support for the organization, create the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary, Keoladeo National Park, and prevent the destruction of what is now the Silent Valley National Park. Along with Sidney Dillon Ripley, he wrote the landmark 10-volume Handbook of the Birds of India and Pakistan, a second edition of which was completed after his death. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in 1958 and the Padma Vibhushan in 1976, India's third and second highest civilian honors respectively. Several species of birds, Salim Ali's fruit bat, Salim Ali's dwarf gecko, a couple of bird sanctuaries and institutions have been named after him. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Masatoshi Koshiba, 19 September 1926 to 12th November 2020. Masatoshi Koshiba was a Japanese physicist and one of the founders of neutrino astronomy. His work with the neutron detectors Komiokande and Super Komiokande was instrumental in detecting solar neutrinos, providing experimental evidence for the solar neutrino problem. Koshiba won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 2002 jointly with Raymond Davis Jr. for pioneering contributions to astrophysics, in particular for the detection of cosmic neutrinos. He was a senior counselor at the International Center for Elementary Particle Physics (ICEPP) and professor at the University of Tokyo. Today, that is 12 November, highlight in history. 1935, construction is completed on the Wilberforce Monument in Kingston upon Hull. 1892, Pudge Heplerfinger becomes the first professional American football player on record, participating in his first paid game for the Allegheny Athletic Association. 1893, Abdur Rahman Khan accepts the Durand Line as the border between the Emirate of Afghanistan and the British Raj. 1905, Norway holds a referendum resulting in popular approval of the Storting's decisions to authorize the government to make the offer of the throne of the newly independent country. 1912, First Balkan War. King George I of Greece makes a triumphal entry into Thessaloniki after its liberation from 482 years of Ottoman rule. 1912, the frozen bodies of Robert Scott and his men are found on the Ross Ice Shelf in Antarctica. 1918, dissolution of Austria-Hungary. Austria becomes a republic after the proclamation. A coup attempt by the Communist Red Guard is defeated by the Social Democratic Volkswehr. 1920, the 1920 Cork hunger strike by Irish Republicans ends after 3 deaths. 1920, Italy and the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes signs the Treaty of Rapallo. 1927, Leon Trotsky is expelled from the Soviet Communist Party, leaving Joseph Stalin in undisputed control of the Soviet Union. 1928, SS Vestris sinks approximately 200 miles 320 km of Hampton Roads, Virginia, killing at least 110 passengers, mostly women and children, who die after the vessel is abandoned. 1933, Nazi Germany uses a referendum to ratify its withdrawal from the League of Nations. 1936, in California, the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge opens to traffic. 1938, Nazi Germany issues a decree on the elimination of Jews from economic life, prohibiting Jews from selling goods and services or working in a trade, totally segregating Jews from the German economy. 1940, World War II, the Battle of Gabon ends as Free French forces take Libreville, Gabon and all of French Equatorial Africa from Vichy French forces. 1940, World War II, Soviet Foreign Minister Vyacheslav Molotov arrives in Berlin to discuss the possibility of the Soviet Union joining the Axis powers. 1941, World War II, temperature around Moscow dropped to minus 12 degrees centigrade, 10 degrees Fahrenheit as the Soviet Union launches sky troops for the first time against the freezing German forces near the city. 1941, World War II, the Soviet cruiser Chervona Ukraine is destroyed during the Battle of Sevastopol. 1942, World War II, naval battle of Guadalcanal between Japanese and American forces begins near Guadalcanal. The battle lasts for 3 days and ends with an American victory. 1944, World War II, the Royal Air Force launches 29 Avro Lancaster bombers which sink the German battleship Tirpitz with 12,000 pound tall-boy bombs of Tromsø, Norway. 1948, aftermath of World War II, in Tokyo, the International Military Tribunal for the Far East sentences 7 Japanese military and government officials, including General Hideki Tojo, to death for their roles in World War II. 1954, Ellis Island sieges operations. 1956, Morocco, Sudan and Tunisia join the United Nations. 1956, in the midst of the Suez crisis, Palestinian refugees are shot dead in Rafah by Israel Defense Force soldiers following the invasion of the Gaza Strip. 1958, a team of rock climbers led by Warren Harding completes the first ascent of the nose on E.I. Capitan in Yosemite Valley. 1961, Terry Jo Duperrault is the sole survivor of the series of brutal murders aboard the Kate's Blue Whale. 1969, Vietnam War, independent investigative journalist Seymour Hersh breaks the story of the My Lai massacre. 1970, the Oregon Highway Division attempts to destroy a rotting beast sperm whale with explosives, leading to the now infamous exploding whale incident. 1970, the 1970 Bhola cyclone makes landfall on the coast of East Pakistan, becoming the deadliest tropical cyclone in history. 1971 Vietnam War. As part of Vietnamization, US President Richard Nixon sets February 1, 1972 as the deadline for the removal of another 45,000 American troops from Vietnam. 1975 The Comoros joins the United Nations. 1977 France conducts the oldest nuclear test as 14th in the group of 29 1975 to 78 French nuclear test series. 1979 Iran hostages crisis. In response to the hostage situation in Tehran, US President Jimmy Carter orders a halt to all petroleum imports into the United States from Iran. 1980 The NASA space probe Voyager 1 makes its closest approach to Saturn and takes the first images of its rings. 1981 Space Shuttle Program Mission STS-2, utilizing the Space Shuttle Columbia, makes the first time a crewed spacecraft is launched into space twice. 1982 USSR Yuri Andropov becomes the General Secretary of the Communist Party's Central Committee, succeeding Leonid I. Brezhnev. 1990 Crown Prince Akihito is formally installed as Emperor Akihito of Japan, becoming the 125th Japanese monarch. 1990 Tim Berners-Lee publishes a formal proposal for the World Wide Web. 1991 Santa Cruz Massacre. The Indonesian army opens fire on a crowd of student protesters in Dili, East Timor. 1995 Erdut agreement regarding the peaceful resolution to the Croatian War of Independence is reached. 1995 Space Shuttle Atlantis launched on STS-74 to deliver the Mir docking module to the Russian space station Mir. 1996 a Saudi Arabian Airlines Boeing 747 and a Kazakh Ilyushin Il-76 cargo plane collide in mid-air near New Delhi, killing 349 in the deadliest mid-air collision to date. 1997 Ramzi Youssef is found guilty of masterminding the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. 1999 The 7.2 megawatt Dusce earthquake shakes northwestern Turkey with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 9 violent. At least 845 people are killed and almost 5,000 are injured. 2001 in New York City, American Airlines Flight 587 and Airbus A300 en route to the Dominican Republic crashes minutes after takeoff from John F. Kennedy International Airport, killing all 260 on board and 5 on the ground. 2001 War in Afghanistan. Taliban forces abandon Kabul ahead of advancing Afghan Northern Alliance troops. 2003 Iraq War. In Nasiriyah, Iraq, at least 23 people, among them the first Italian casualties of the 2003 invasion of Iraq, are killed in a suicide bomb attack on an Italian police base. 2003 Shanghai Transrapid sets a new world speed record of 501 kilometers per hour, 311 miles per hour for commercial railway systems, which remains the fastest for unmodified commercial rail vehicles. 2011 Silvio Berlusconi tenders his resignation as Prime Minister of Italy effective November 16, due in large part to the European sovereign debt crisis. 2011 A blast in Iran's Shahid Modarres missile base leads to the death of 17 of the Revolutionary Guards members, including Hassan Tehrani Moghadam, a key figure in Iran's missile program. 2014 The Philae lander deployed from the European Space Agency's Rosetta probe reaches the surface of comet 67P by Churyumov-Gerasimenko. 2015 Two suicide bombers detonate explosive in Borough El Barazne, Beirut, killing 43 people and injuring over 200 others. 2017 The 7.3 megawatt Kemanshah earthquake shakes the northern Iran-Iraq border with a maximum Mercalli intensity of 8 severe. At least 410 people are killed and over 7,000 are injured. 2021 The Los Angeles Supreme Court formally ends the 14-year conservatorship to pop singer Britney Spears. Thank you very much for your patience.